All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
You're out.
Throwing on first down. Kennedy. He's got Thompson here, complete. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Third down and 6.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Fair. Check 13. Come.
Operating from the gun. Kennedy. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Jones and the Giants now with a first and 10 at their own 15.
Check. Crunch. Leo.
Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
It's second and 8 at the 17-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Tight dog. 6-6. Pull it high. Watch the ship. Hard. Nice.
Now Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up third and about 6. Now Jones.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt, they're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard
58, Mike, 58. Hey, lock it. Too little, cut. Check 31. Check. Ready.
Back to throw. Kennedy. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Got it. 57's low. Hey, let's get in that hole. Check. Lucky. Check 3. Topper.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Mike 51. Let's go, defense.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Ready up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. This is Barkley. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
And the Giants first down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Check that receipt.
80 weapons.
Check. No.
Hey. They go.
Barkley. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Hey, Haywood. Hey.
Come on, baby.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready. Greystone travel.
A first down carry for Barkley. Now after the play, oh man, it's Barkley who appears to be shaken up. He's down. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Protein spill.
Switch.
Look at me. Go.
Jump.
Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Hey, we got a seal.
Bravo.
Mike 9.
Go. Get it.
From the gun, Jones. It's caught, Shepard. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
We go. 50 plant.
6 man.
Shut up.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. Watkins. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Set, ready? 90, Wolf. General West.
Check 24. Check 24.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
Second and goal from the 1.
You draw Corker.
Another try for Barkley. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's third and goal at the 1. Here's Barkley, and he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 15 of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on third and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got
through an opening, and there he goes. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. A first down run by Barkley unsuccessful, as he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, high 7. Take 3. 218, chop. Hey, exit. Deep river.
Now Jones operating from the gun. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
On on the set.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
6-6, pull it high.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Mike 9. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work. Mike 9.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hey, Gywu.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 45 yards on the ground. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Now.
They'll run with Barkley. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Yeah. Look, squeeze.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. And this is caught by Watkins. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, New York.
Let's go. 10 Lobo. 61. Matchbox lights. Snap.
On 1st and 10. Jones. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Trying to go back to Watkins. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play.
Check.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are back within a single score. Rosas to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
80 weapon. He's crossing. He's checking crack.
On second down, it's Sanders. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Look at me, zipper.
Oh, you got deep? Check.
Hey, wahoo.
Line.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
60 or. Hey.
At the 20-yard line.
Let's get it. Mike 9.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Let's go now.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Got it.
Mike, 58. 58 for Mike. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, Charlie.
58, boy. 58. 58 for Mike.
Shoot.
The final shot before break. Kennedy, he sets to fire deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Ready.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And there's
looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Watkins, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up first and goal.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Ready up.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a second and goal.
13-yard line.
Down. 70. Indy.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Clear.
58, boy. 58. 58, Mike.
Hey, Sam off.
Undercrush.
Now.
Second and 13. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Hey, Echo.
58's the money. 58's the money. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Throwing on third and long. Kennedy to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Elliott puts this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On second down now, Barkley slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 21 yards there on third down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now it's Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Jones now operating from the gun. Going deep here for Watkins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
John, go. Go. Ready?
To throw from his end zone, Kennedy. He's got it complete to Thompson. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hey, Orbit. Now.
Mike 9.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jones. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 1 yard to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Topper.
Tighten up. Alert 3.
Hey, Haywood. Yes.
Switch.
Snap.
Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another run here with Sanders. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Ready. 90 Wolf.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football, has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Gets past one man. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, 57 yards. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will get him one closer. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. 2nd and 14. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Check, roll out. Snap.
Looking to throw. Kennedy. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Logan Ryan. two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Throwing Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. On the run, it's Barkley. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on 3rd down.
Go! 15 lines. 15 lines. 5.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Jones throwing on 4th down. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Rosas good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 11. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Hey, exit.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike. Watch the pass.
Come.
And they, in fact, will throw it. Got a man, it's Arcega-Whiteside. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Let's go, big time.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
Go, 18, Gator. Watch the slip, watch the slip. Hey, Gywu. Fair. Watch the run, watch the down.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Ready, break.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Go.
All day, every day, any day.
Under 10.
Mike 9. Mike 9. I hope he brought the rock.
From the gun, Jones. Now a desperation throw deep. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked. Not that time for Watkins.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Philadelphia, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, alongside Charles.